better start going bad. Afternoon, folks. It's a wee bit late starting off here. As you can see, there's a bit of a heavier police presence. There's Lindsay. Got the police wagon up there. Their cameras good to go again. You can see there's a stall set up there, some nice pork sausages and pork bacon for the people to munch on. What's happening on there?
Give us again for another testament thing, so that one offer.
Oh,
give it to me.
Right.
Did you give it one?
Yes.
Yes. 10 commandments, yes. So how are you?
Yeah, good.
Sure. Today's beautiful.
So the concerned residents of Newtownabbey have all pushed the boat out here. They've all came together from all the different areas. They've all came together. They can back up that chimney corner to make a stance. Obviously give some statements out as regards to the people staying in this hotel, which has been pointed out for, well, the last year, just over a year, by the people from Newtownabbey. Just to remind some folks, there's over 100 fighting age males staying at this hotel. There's been a few incidents that have come out of this hotel which has drawn the people's attention to it. And it's for those reasons the continuous protest here goes on. Just like over in the Aberdeen Hotel, it happened. Just like down in the City West Hotel, it happened. You know, so there's... Listen, folks. Let's be no strangers to what's going on coming out of these hotels. I mean, they can deny us all they want. And how many more children are going to have to be raped before we go after these political forces, these tyrannical governmental forces that, you know, they'll just bow down to the WEF agenda. The WEF started up back in the early 70s, sort of coincidentally in line with the Provisional IRA, when they started their campaign. The WEF were also in operation then too. No doubt they were operating well before that and just announced themselves as an organisation in 71 or 72, I think it was. But yeah, they've been a bit of a driving force, folks, as well as the EU. I mean, that happened at the start of the early 70s, and then we come into the 70s, we had Edward Heath, you know, back in 75, that said it was to put us into the EU, but it was notified back then, way back then, that to put the UK into the EU, it would be an act of treason. And Edward Heath went along with it anyway. Now, the whole EU treaties here with the UK are all null and void anyway, as are many other treaties involving Europe, like the Maastricht Treaty, the Treaty of Nice, or even Versailles. They're all null and void, folks. You know, we have a constitutional Bill of Rights, the 1688 Bill of Rights is the old English one. You know, states quite clearly that we are not to be taken over by foreign powers. We are not to be dictated to by foreign powers. And, you know, not just the EU. You know, we have WEF, the WHO, the UN. These are all foreign powers. You can even stretch it out as far as the British Empire too. You know, because they are balls deep in carrying out this globalist agenda. We have the Labour Party. Who pulls the Labour Party strings? Well, that's a Fabian Society. Yeah. Fabian Society started up in 1884. Full-on leftist woke ideologists that just basically want to dictate to the rest of the world through their wee cult organisation, prescribed organisation, I would call them all. Just like our government. Our government's a prescribed organisation, folks. It's an illegal one. It's a de facto government. What's that mean? It means that the government, it looks like a government, it acts like a government, but that does not make it a government. What makes it a government? When it acts for the people, when it does as the people ask, when it interacts with its people that they claim to represent. That's what a government and a democracy is supposed to be based on. They have us living in a hypocrisy where we just bow down to their rules, victimless crimes, being persecuted, being extorted from our trusts. And these politicians just carry along just because the people don't actually see the fraud and deception in their ways. I mean, a lot of laws that are here now came from the EU. 1975, you know, we could have lived on, you know, the fathers would have went out, done a day's work. It was enough to support a family household. And when you go back to the 70s, 60s, 70s, what's happening now, bro? Word Freedom Day, give me a shout there. You know, when you go back to the 70s, one parent worked, the other one raised the children. And back then they were having 4, 5, 6 children. We were keeping the population going because it was encouraged then, folks. After the First World War with the baby boom, Second World War with the baby boom. But let's consider this. Those wars, could they have just been a depopulation tactic of the men of our countries? Because they were thrown over the other countries. I mean, when Hitler invaded, he took over 4 countries without any resistance. You know, he took France, he took Austria, Poland, Czechoslovakia. Yeah, I think it was when it started getting too far through France that then Churchill decided it was time to intervene. But since then, has anything changed for our betterment? You know, they have cohesively indoctrinated us not to breed. They have taught us contraception through and through. All over the years, it's been bombarding our televisions with the adverts for condoms and safer sex. But yet, our invaders, they know nothing about contraception. All they know is about breeding. Hello, Vincent. How are you? You know, we're being dictated to, folks. That corrupt government, the corrupt and treasonous government. You know, Sinn Féin, DUP. These parties have allowed this to happen. To the point now where people are having to come out on the streets en masse, and it's been going on for months, and it's been consistent. It's been consistent, which is the main thing, folks. That's the driving force when it comes to a nation under threat from their own government. It all relies down to the people. Only the people can change what's going on here. You can't expect our politicians or any new political wannabes coming up to change things. You know, what needs to happen here is we need to get all our communities in order. We need a political party that's going to stand up and represent for the people. A party, a one unionist party that stands for all. No more of this fucking 4 or 5 unionist parties all arguing and bickering with each other to the point where a couple of unionist parties just side with Sinn Féin and SDLP and the Alliance Party. You know, they're the biggest bootlickers of them all. It's such a sad shame. These political parties, they claim to come out, they want to represent us, but they don't. So, things are still just brewing up here. I'm just giving you a wee bit of a chat out of the old skull here. Some skullduggery for the masses. Just waiting for things to start up. Hey, hold on, a wee second, folks. I'm just going to go down and block people here. Bomb from all streams. Oh, that was a wee second, folks. Liam Maggle. Insane gibberish, fuck's sake. Ways up, you clown. Liam Maggle. It's kind of fishy surname name. But anyway, goodbye. See ye. Anybody else want black? Hello, Dane, bro. Hope you're all good. Hello, Julie. Hey, so anyway, again, back to where it sort of left off. No, on that, I'll actually turn around here, folks, just to let you see what's going on. Now, you can see the police, wouldn't say out in force, 2 cars there. There's a wagon up there, so you have some of the speakers gearing up, getting ready to speak over there. So that's one side of the road. Just wait, a car comes down here just to go across the other side to let you all see what's been going on here. There you go. Where's Norbert? Look at the other side there, folks. As you can see, there's a stall set up there. And what they're doing, they're feeding. The people are getting fed pork sausages and some bacon. They're all getting well fed, ready for the event to start. I'd say expect it will start any time soon because I heard the speakers getting ramped up there. Pope's not in there, mate. Pope's not in there. What's it? Somebody just drove past there shouting "fuck the Pope." One thing for sure, the King's not going to fuck. Oh, well, maybe he will. You know, he's over praying with him, getting down his hands and knees there beside the Pope. It's very suspectful behaviour. Not my King, folks. My King is the Heavenly Father up above. That's who guides me. The Spirit runs me through and through. 100% then. Good to see them all coming out. Hello, Checo, bro. Gordy, how you doing, bro? Cheers. All good, man. It is, John. It's a good turnout. I would say there's 100 people here at least, anyway. 100 people here at least. Hopefully, maybe more will still turn up. There you go. Where's our Freedom Day? One as we parade about. Done a few interviews there with some of the speakers that's going to come up. Just let you see some of the grub folks. Look at that there. I've had some and all, bro. Look at that. Some lovely pork, folks. Some lovely fattening bacon. Oh, yep. Some halal onions, folks. Halal, big halal at you. Oh, mum. I've been over there now. Been over there. Yeah, I had myself a wee bop earlier on, so Robin, yeah, it was a good job. Didn't need that one, or I wouldn't have been able to try one of their wee bops earlier.
Oh, sorry, maybe alright. Here. Brilliant work you're doing.
Thank you,
I'm Thompson Baggett from Facebook. I always like your stuff. Tell me, you're doing really well. You said, I'm not trying to preach to me, but I support for you from up here, you know what I mean? Get plenty up behind you, you know. That's what I said, but keep me disguised, because I'm not going to get right up in the papers.
There you go. Here. What do you say that? You got to say that, Facebookers.
Too many people here. So we're trying to set it up so we can record the speakers, and it's difficult the way everything is between the two. Everybody needs to say their names. So we're trying to get the camera crew along the middle, all the camera guys along the middle, so it makes it easier for us the thingy. They have said that we can do a white line protest. The inspector did say that, so we're waiting to find out what's going on.
You didn't get me label.
Yeah, we're just going for.
They know.
Can everybody make sure they're standing on the path on either side? If anybody's going to stand in the white line in the middle of the road, make sure it's single line to let the traffic go through either way. This is for your own safety and the safety of the road users. Yeah. Just watch the traffic, folks, please.
Do you want the bigger megaphone?
Probably struggle with it. A lot of fucking.
Nah, it's heavy like. You see him?
Good.
It's hard for us to get the place over here now, folks.
There's our new media host too. Our patriotic media. Check her out on YouTube, folks. This is Newtownabbey's new recruit into the citizen journalism. Get on, sign up to the page. You're welcome. Well, let's get over and join them, folks. Let's get over and stand in the white line protest. Alright, bro?
Hey,
All good. What about yourself? Cheers for that wee post up. Alright, there, everyone. No, man. You know the score.
He's
There's no score. That's why I put the post up.
It had to be said, Stevie, you know what I mean? Fucking
Just to let them know, no more else fucking about public. Let's do things in private if you want to fuck around. Billy Big Balls, you know what I mean? But we're still here. We're still here fucking rocking on, aren't we? Turn the camera to me. I don't want to get too many faces on. Bad enough used to look at mine. So yeah, what we're doing here, it's basically a white line protest, but I think the way things are going to happen here, it's going to spread too far down the road by the time they get the speakers in. That's John, concerned residents, Newtownabbey, speaker.
Can everybody give a round of applause for these guys behind for putting on the food for you today?
Get it shared there, folks, for the ones on Facebook, because not everybody does the YouTube and other channels.
To get the chimney corner closed down, this building behind you in my front. To object to the council issuing any HMOs planning to house illegal immigrants. Let the housing executive know who is at attendance in the council meeting that we will not accept any illegal immigrants to be housed in our areas. And lastly, to challenge Sinn Féin over their stance on migration, which is affecting every single citizen in Northern Ireland. The timeline of events from Monday, because there was a bit of confusion what was on. First, the protesters, we'd like to thank those councillors when they were leaving the council building on Monday night to take the time and start and actually talk to the protesters, which proves one point, there was no threat to any councillors on Monday night. Sinn Féin gave a statement, and to my knowledge, and along with those in attendance, their statement is just
Get it
not
shared,
true.
folks. Remember, get it shared.
No one heard what was claiming to be said. And if anything was said, the PSNI would have stepped in and stopped it straight away and arrested anybody that was using threatening language or sectarian language. So if anybody has said anything of a sectarian or threatening nature, please let us know so we can resolve the issue. We do not want to be held to account for using threatening language. The last thing we need is bad press. We already get that from the mainstream media. There's nothing sectarian about the protest. There's Catholics in attendance at the protest just as much as Protestants. Sinn Féin would like others to think otherwise. And it's them creating the problem within Northern Ireland. I was made aware of a poster board coming into contact
Was indeed, Onslow. Cracking turnout.
morning. I then made a phone call to the gentleman who was holding the said poster, who was upset and annoyed that it happened. And without hesitation, folks, that gentleman asked me to pass on the apology, which I done to 3 separate councillors, one of which was due to speak to the Lord Mayor at 2 p.m. The Ulster Unionist Party gave a statement at 9 p.m. on Tuesday night, but this failed to mention that the incident was accidental and the apology was sent to the Lord Mayor on Tuesday afternoon. I'll just read a quote from the statement. While we respect the right to peaceful protest, threats or intimidation against elected representatives are wrong and will not be tolerated. This is correct, but to our knowledge, there was no threats. There was no intimidation. Councillors took the time to speak to the protesters on their way leaving the building. And if somebody has said anything that we're not aware of, it must stop. If people feel strongly about an issue which is a bedrock of any democracy, they should make their voices heard at the ballot box, not through threats and intimidation, which, folks, I'm sure every single one of you will do come the next election time. The group that was protesting on Monday night, we'd like to thank the Lord Mayor for clarifying everything and that it wasn't intentional, but it was a genuine accident. May we all wish you well for the rest of your tenure as Lord Mayor on behalf of all the residents of Antrim and Newtownabbey Borough Council.
Yes, Ansel, 100%. Pink Ladies next week, City Hall.
Namely the IRA. We murdered more people than any other group, and more Catholics than any other group is now offended by hearty words which wasn't even said. They are also angered at being questioned and called out for their support on illegal immigration. No one, it seems, is allowed to challenge Sinn Féin on any issue. They are using the press against these protests to get them shut down. Folks, we won't allow it to happen.
There works something like that there, John, but don't even bother wasting them, mate, because I don't use them.
Sinn Féin, Alliance, SDLP.
That's something that cash in on, mate.
Illegal immigration all the one. If Islam takes hold and takes over, mark my words, folks, anyone on the left will be taken out. Just exactly what happened during 1979 in the Iranian Revolution.
Yep. Yes.
Those three parties call us right-wing thugs. Sinn Féin is getting hammered in the Republic for their stance on migration. West Belfast is waking up, along with Newry. The Labour Party is dropping in the polls, and the SDLP is going nowhere. So, they can continue to call us what they want, because they are uniting up together, bringing more people onto the streets, not because we are thugs, because we are right and they are wrong. This issue affects every single citizen in Northern Ireland, Protestant, Catholics, and those who came here legally for a better life through the proper channels, and who feel threatened the most over illegal immigration. If they even took the time to listen to the concerns of those that came here legally, then they might understand the predicament that those people are being put in. Our issue is people who has entered the UK illegally. They must be detained, they must be deported as soon as they enter the country. This building in front of me must also be closed down as a matter of urgency by the Planning Committee at Antrim and Newtownabbey Council.
Yes!
We also request the Planning Committee at Antrim and Newtownabbey Council do not allow
This isn't my
any
event, John.
HMOs to be
It's
passed
not my event,
in
mate.
order to
Don't worry
allow
about donations.
illegal immigrants. Our communities will not be welcoming any illegal immigrants into any of our areas in any shape or form.
Remember, folks, get it shared out there.
We all must stay united, communicate with each other's groups. This is important for everything to work. There will come a time
100%, John McCulloch. We all need to get in this together.
The lines of communication are there to call people out at short notice. Some things may seem quiet, but not being forgot about.
Good.
The public mood in Northern Ireland is changing. We are sick of diversity and inclusion. We're sick of massive immigration. We're sick of seeing foreigners put first and our citizens last. We are sick of being told how racist we are. We are not going to be polite about it any longer. We, the people, will not be silenced. We will not be told to wait our turn while our community struggles and our future is being bargained away. They take and they take and they take, and they told us to keep our heads down. And while they show the future piece by piece, we've done it for too long, and we're raising to take our country back. The expected cost of the hotel bill to house illegal immigrants is expected to triple from 4.5 billion in 2019 to 15.3 billion by 2029. Now one could ask, why up to 2029? That's because it is alleged that the Conservative government done a 10-year contract in 2019. So it just shows you how far this can back. I will help with some suggestions for our Chancellor to save money and not put our taxes up next month, later on this month actually, and the budget. Deport all illegal immigrants in the hotels, and that will save the country the 15.3 billion by 2029. Then you will also save the associated costs like interpreters for the courts, for the police, for hospitals, for doctors, taxi fares, food, clothing, mobiles, technology, things like gaming. The list goes on, and it's costing us billions and billions of our taxpayers' money. The above could easily save the country at least £50 billion instead of putting our taxes up to fund this problem. Also, stop sending money on foreign aid. We want our taxes spent on us in our country.
Yes.
Migrant Help, a charity which runs an asylum helpline for the government, signed a £235 million deal in 2019 to give them advice to asylum seekers and help them access housing, which has since increased to £385 million. They also received nearly £40 million last year. Guess what for? To teach our school children to see migration in a positive light. Millions more pounds of our money being wasted. Folks, this is not the end, but only the beginning of a long struggle ahead for years to come. But please be careful, look after each other, and most importantly, keep all our protests peaceful. Thank you very much.
Can't even see the fucking screen there with sun playing them.
Newtownabbey, I have never been prouder to say I am from Newtownabbey. Well done everyone for showing up today. Thank you all so much for taking time out to come and stand alongside us, and I hope you all enjoyed a bacon buddy and a wee cup of tea.
Exactly, Philip Trips, exactly. We are the power. We're the law.
90% Muslim population. There is child labour in Bangladesh. The teen pregnancy is through the roof because of child marriage. Do we want that in our country? No. These men are being brought into our country by our government. These men are not here to simulate and have our values. We only need to look at England. We only even need to look to Belfast, where this ideology is being taught in mosques. We don't want it here, and we're not going to tolerate it. Meanwhile, on Monday evening there, we'll have our government officials crying and gurning over wee hurdy words, or because they were trying to be interviewed or asked questions. So they're on using up media time and TV time complaining. Meanwhile, letting these type of men into our country that can do God knows what to our women and children. It's absolutely weakness and it's pathetic, and this is not a government that's going to be able to see us through this. They haven't a clue what they're doing. They prove that by just looking at the state they've got us into. Meanwhile, they're not busy telling women, children, the LGBT, the legal immigrants, our government are putting those communities at risk. Meanwhile, they're trying to program them and manipulate them into saying that they're doing the right thing. It's lies, pure lies. They're manipulating these communities. And I stand here now strong. I want to help everybody that's born on this land. Everybody that belongs here. I want to help them all. Not like our government using them for their own agenda.
Go on, Lizzie.
So guys, I want you to know, your superpower is our working class communities. Our working class communities have strength, resilience, community spirit. They have a sense of humour, which let's face it, a lot of people on the left, or these men coming in, don't have. We have tight-knit families, we have grit, we have determination. And I want every single person from the working class background to remember that they have a superpower and they can help take their land back. This is our time. This is our opportunity to show that we can come together and build our community. To show our next generation that we believe in them and that we are willing to do the work and lead by example for them. So, here's the saying. In a crisis, you need to be aware of the danger. We are. But we also need to recognise the opportunity. And that is by building up our next generation and showing them how awesome they are and standing and defending every single one of them. So let's show what the working class can do and what we are made of. Hey folks, big round of applause for Mr. Lindsay. Another speaker coming up. Just remember to keep the roads clear. If you're in the middle of the road, single file.
That's our deal, anyway.
We don't want any accidents. For your own safety, folks. Good afternoon, all. Just preface this before I start going here. I'm a free speech absolutist.
Some words might be offensive. Through whenever I'm talking here, it'll also include phrases that people seem to be able to say and get away with where others can't. So why are we here? We're here because of government failure, their inaptitude to tackle problems and issues within this country and within the mainland. We in Northern Ireland will not fail our children, as England was failed by politicians, police, social services. Everyone failed them. To be blunt, there was hundreds of thousands of girls and boys abused and raped en masse. Not individual occurrences. The counter from the left wing is, sure, that happens here. That crime, as heinous as it is, regardless of how it happens, they like to preach the news that rape happens by people that know them. They obviously haven't read the reports of how these people operate. They befriend young girls, make them feel as if they're older than what they are, think they've got an older boyfriend, and life's good. To ply them with alcohol and drugs to get them hooked. And then keep their wee bodies in the rooms.
You know what, Bob?
While your friends,
You know what, Bob,
family,
bro?
relatives repeatedly go through
You know where it's
that
going.
room on a wee precious body. We, the people of Ulster, will not take it in this country. And the other insult to injury. They covered it up. They're suppressing the voices.
You know what, Bob?
We will learn
You know
from
what, bro?
England. Their discipline was broken. Their voices were isolated. They couldn't speak with one voice. Our purpose is to stay united.
He's settling himself, Matt. That's what some people do, you know, when they're talking. Whatever it takes to settle
They're
yourself.
not for us, they are agitators. So far as this hotel's concerned, the hotel is operating illegally. Tourism N.I. is the legal authority that gives hotels the legality to operate in Northern Ireland. This hotel has not got it. Neither has it had any change of use application applied for. Where public consultation
Thank
would
you,
have to
Johnny
take
Bean.
place.
Thank you.
My belief, the council is going to fudge the fact that this hotel is operating illegally. They're going to give them time to submit a retrospective change of use application. But the sting in the tail, it still needs public consultation. People need to be awake and aware, and when this takes place, object. They seem to be moving people out of hotels, think there's better, and HMO. HMOs have their own dangers. Although we don't agree with them staying in hotels, our preference is for them not to be in the country. When they move them out to the central location of these hotels, they're then spread like a cancer throughout our country. The ECHR, they keep complaining about it at Westminster. If only the ECHR was gone. Not a lot of people in this world are sad. I'm one of them. I've read the ECHR. It specifically says it does not replace a country's ability to put people out of the country for arriving illegally. They keep using Section 8, which allows them the right to a private family life. What they don't tell you is it also says in that same legislation for people that have been committing crimes against the country.
Any negative comments will get this deleted and blocked off the page.
They are well and able to remove people from the country. It also says they do not have to necessarily remove them to their own home country. It can be their first safe destination. You have to think, and the government needs to think. These people spend £5,000 to £10,000 getting from wherever they come to here. If their intentions are pure, why not hop on an airplane? £1,500, get yourself to the UK, and then claim whatever you get. Because that would prove their identity. They are coming without identity documents.
They're dumping them into the sea. The governments have to prove who they are, and they're pumping them into our community.
Not one deserves to be in this country.
That's right.
Not one.
I don't know if you know a young fella in England there, you call him Baraka. I seen Baraka speaking there about a week or so ago in England. He stands with the Patriots. This young man was born in an immigration camp in Tanzania. There he stayed with his mother for 14 years while the application for asylum was processed. He came here legitimately. Most importantly, that young man and his family integrated into the community, accepted the British way of life, and are glad and thankful for it. The point of that is, people who genuinely need to come for a safe haven are being blocked by individuals jumping the queue and jumping on a boat. And to be quite clear, we are not anti-immigration. We're anti-illegal immigration. It is not race, it is culture. No matter how many times we say the same message, the media like to report it differently. They like to cut people down, bring up their past. Yes, we're terrible people. I stand before you, never a conviction in my life. My heart is Christ. And the speeding ticket 2001. Media, take it up for a cake.
Cheers for dropping that article late at ECHR, Philip.
The sheer incompatibility of these people from Islamist nations, the child marriage, the female genital mutilation, Sharia court. For some reason England has accepted Sharia courts to say, oh, they're only dealing with marriage issues. This is oppression of women. If they understand the Quran, they would understand a woman cannot leave a man unless the man gives consent. So where's the equality? Where's the women's rights? I want to talk to you a wee bit about the concept of convenience, expediency, and the consequence. The government lets problems manifest and guarantees every time when they come in with a solution, it strips away your and my rights to tackle a problem. Case in point, Just Stop Oil. They let it run for months until the country was up in arms. They then passed additional policing powers, which would allow them protesters to be taken off the street. They were celebrating them. That same law and legislation is what's pushing them off the street across the mainland now. Be wary of when the government talks to you about help. They're not there to help you. You're a tax number. That touches on to digital IDs, which the government puts forward is going to help immigration. We've got that much identity documents that's coming out our wazoo. Why do we need more? The push to print cards. Whenever you hear print cards, think of this. Biometric recognition, intelligence tracking. That's what it is. The push of smart devices. Smart is just not there because they're highly intelligent. It also has its own meaning. Self-monitoring. And regulated identity tracking. What I want to call on is building in the community. This is how we beat this. If you stay isolated, if you don't know the people next door, 2 doors up, make yourself known, say hello. Keep observing. If there's one thing we do that here, is spotting things that are out of place. A wrong car, a face you don't know. Don't be afraid of questioning them, you're not harming them. Can I help you? What are you here for? politics. I'm just going to touch on some subjects. You can delve into them yourselves. Everybody needs to look up and read the Fabian Society. It's not a conspiracy theorist. This organisation was formed
1884.
to subjugate the slow creep. The mission change of them is to change laws by incremental change. Like a frog in the boiling pot of water, same principle. It will not leak out. The incremental change is happening across this country. It's not recognised until it's too late. Feed up on the Fabian Society. The Labour Party was born from its womb, and it is the poison that's running through the country. Left-wing agitators and Marxists, that's their policy. I heard a lot about politics. A lot of people speaking about splitting the vote. And this is important, especially in working class communities. Whenever votes take place, it's generally 60% is a good turnout. Now, if you talk about splitting the vote of that 60%, possibly, there's another 40% that don't vote. If you do not vote in this country, if you do not put your mark on the page, you're a communist. Our ancestors fought, died, and gave lives, so we had that right. People are too flippant with their voting. I don't care what party you vote for. If it's for the things that we're concerned about, immigration, vote for them. I don't care if they're orange and green. If they are against this illegal immigration and the abuse upon our country, I'm for them. Also want to talk about personal individual responsibility. This has significance in these protests. Whether you're looking for somebody to say something, that is all the media need to paint their Picasso. That is all they need to say, Steve, we told you they're far right. When you're at protest, discipline, no violence. We have plenty we can do here yet. England is 15 years. We're 15 years behind England. We have things we can still do legally. Sometimes personal responsibility, it takes very little. And I might borrow somebody here, but something that you think is a wee bit insignificant. A 5-word phrase was said to me a month ago. And that phrase was, Christians are warriors, not warriors. That was Richard Inman.
Yeah, right.
And then you think back to the Beatitudes out of the Bible from the Sermon on the Mount, Matthew 5:5. Blessed are the meek. Many people interpret this wrongly. Meekness is not weakness.
Those strong in faith. That's who the meek are.
Meekness
Those who
is
submit.
power with control. So we can all dance about or post things online about we should be doing this, we should be doing that. Ignore the keyboard warriors, trust the faces you see at these protests. A lot of them are agitators within chats of anything we may well be in as well. Be your favourite YouTuber, whoever, just be aware of it. Personal responsibility. Where this also falls. A lot of people saying, I've heard it many times, I would go to the protest, but I'm afraid of my face being seen. I totally understand that. But the action within this community is not just about turning up and protest as much as it helps their support. There's many things you can do. One, HMOs. The central point for these in Northern Ireland is Belfast City Council. Anyone and their dog can go to Belfast City Council's website, see what HMOs are planning, what stage it's at. The same with HMOs as with hotels. There has to be public consultation. They may well post these on media places which isn't recognisable to everybody. It is our own, each individual responsibility for due diligence. Hit the website, take a note, see if there's any coming up in your area, unite the community and stand up against it. Another point, I just want you to think for a moment, how self-sufficient is your home? What do I mean by that? How long could you stay in your home without having to leave it? Be it food, be it gas, be it repairing something in your home. How long could you do it for without needing outside support? So, not many people can do that, or can do it for a long time. I want you to think of that question, and I want you to reverse it to these hotels. The council is allowing them to stay open. The facilitators are letting it stay open. What do you mean by that? Who supplies them? What contractors work with them? The left have boycotted businesses, left, right, up and down, right round this country. We started uniting and thinking about ways that we can tackle things instead of standing and pointing and asking who's doing what. What are you doing? Another point I want to touch on is the Muslim Brotherhood. You've maybe heard of popping up. This organisation was actually formed in 1928 in Egypt. Hamas was born from the womb of Muslim Brotherhood. People need to realise that. The last investigation and report that the government did into them was in 2015. I'm calling on the government. You need to reevaluate the situation. UAE and other Arab nations have designated them as terrorist organisations. Why not here? Why? 10 years in politics, 10 years in terrorism is a long time. When will the government relook at Muslim Brotherhood? An MLA or an MP? These are things we can all be doing. Political parties. This is just my point of view, folks. You can take from it what you will. Independent politicians, when they stand in your area and they stand up for what you want them to be doing, you're their electors. They're the ones that are elected. They're answerable to nobody above them. They can vote how they want to vote. That is the strength. Their weakness is they stand alone. Political parties, they are big. They're from council, from MLAs to MPs. When I speak to councillors, a lot of the time, and I know there's good ones here, I'm not demeaning them in any way, but they won't deny that what they said, it's a bit out of our hands, it's the people on the hill. You speak to the people on the hill, at Central Westminster, get it together. You are a big party. What benefit is it to people voting for you? And use yourselves. Do not hold collective meetings from councillor, MLA and MPs in one room. Immigration will define the next election. People will vote purely on immigration. It's happening in England, the same will happen here. I'm calling on the Lord political parties. Get all your councillors, all your MLAs, all your MPs in one room. Work out a strategy of how you're going to tackle these illegal hotels, the HMOs, and getting the people out of this country. Collectively, that is the benefit of a big party. If you're not going to show you can do that, then what use is it?
Battery's going to die here, folks. Just to let you know, you can switch over to Freedom Dad 73 on YouTube.
If it's going forever, we'll keep it for another day. I just want to highlight, as you know, the mainstream news print what they want you to believe. They report a narrative that they know busy people in their lives pick up a bit of news on the radio, maybe a wee bit on the TV. I implore you, look at alternative sources. Vouch the information you're receiving. Do not believe everything you read or everything you see. There's a lot of people I would follow. I don't have a full list, but I'll give you a few. Rickman, no risk, no reward. Eddie Hobbs. Derek Mousey. Freedom Dad, Patriot Media. Stevie Baker. AY Audits, BB Audits. CJ, big up CJ. Abby the Gabby Cabby. Now one thing I'll say about these people. You may well put it on and you don't like the personality or you think they're a wee bit out there. Bring the personality out, listen to the information. What these people speak is truth. What they show you on their videos is truth. Live streams, Mayway Audits, unedited, is irrefutable, the information that is gained. We Lindsay Brown, big up Lindsay.
Reason.
I'm going to make me a bit of a slant, but I want you to pick up on it, it is important. The English Constitutional Party, Graham Moore. Watch him, understand what he's talking about, and find the information. It is all there. We have base rights, and Stevie's been shouting about it a lot. The English Bill of Rights. Learn it. There's a reason we don't know it today. Because they stopped teaching it in schools around 1948. The information doesn't get passed on to the next generation. That's how it's lost, and that's by design. Thomas Sheridan, Great Houston Talk,
Folks, that's about
and
redone.
Impact Media.
It's way on, folks.